Hey everyone, have another quick video for you guys today, and this one's going to highlight our TF Structural Deep. We have two flagship products, our TF Structural and then our TF Structural Deep, and the main differences being the TF Structural Deep is meant for anything about a ½ inch or deeper. It's mixed with water, it's a less expensive product, and it works really good for repairing concrete that gets a little out of hand with the deterioration. And something to be used when you're looking for a quick return to service, or if you're trying to put a new overlay on it the same day, or you just want to fill a really big hole and you don't want to use the more expensive TF Structural. So the job we have here is an old pebble coat type system, and you can see this one was used in epoxy binder, so it's breaking down quite aggressively, and the concrete underneath it is actually starting to deteriorate really badly. So we're going to come in here, we're going to remove all the old coating, and then you can see here, now that all that old rock has been taken off, you can really start to get a sense of the damage and deterioration that the concrete has undergone underneath it. So we've used a chipping hammer and broken off all that loose, damaged concrete, and this is where we're going to use the TF Structural Deep. Over here at the stairs, you can see at the beginning where all that rock was peeling off, and that's the reason. The concrete underneath it was totally destroyed. So here you see it fully prepped. All the loose, crappy, broken concrete's been taken off. We left any concrete that's still structurally sound and solid, and that's going to give us some good heights to work off as well. And here you're seeing just a really easy basic forming system. We just have a 2x8 with a few 50-pound bags there to hold it. It's not a big area that we have to fill in, so real quick, real easy, and temporary forms that we're going to pour our Structural Deep in there. So we've begun here. You can see I'm just using a screed to go across from the two areas of good concrete, and that's going to make sure my height stays the same on this whole walkway. It has a gradual slope out to the parking lot, so we want to make sure we maintain that slope so all the water goes down to the parking lot there. And we're just making it up one bag at a time, just pouring it out. I'm using a screed just to pull the product back and make sure I maintain my height. And what's good about this material is it sets up quite quickly within an hour or two. So I can do section by section and reset my height. And then when this area is hard and set, I can use it as a new height and put my screed board right on top of that section and carry it across. So you can see here we've done the first section. That was probably about 2 or 3 bags of material to fill in that section between the good concrete. And over here, we've started another section going from that section of concrete there across. You can see we're just taking it piece by piece. And as the material sets up, we can just continue to fill it all in. It doesn't have to be pretty. We're just doing this as a base layer to put our river rock system on top, which uses a urethane binder, so it's totally UV stable. So there you can see the TF Structural, the first section we did is already stiff, and this is only about an hour later. And so I'm using that for a height to put my screed board right on to screed across to that other good concrete over there. This is just an easy way to help maintain the height of the concrete slab all the way to the front. So if you have bigger jobs, you definitely can mix up more product at a time if you have more guys to run the screed boards and bigger areas to fill. But here there's just 2 of us doing this, so we're just going to go one bag at a time. Also, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves because the sections we are filling are quite small. So we're just doing it piece by piece, and we're letting that product cure and set up in between applications. So here you can see the forming that we put on. I put some form release onto that wood. If you don't use any kind of form release, the wood is going to bond extremely well to the TF Structural. Some other options here, we're using tuck tape. You can also use duct tape. Essentially anything non-porous on your form is what you want so that TF Structural doesn't bond to the wood. We've now filled everything in. You're seeing some color variation in the back there, the browner looking material, that's the TF Structural Deep. And as we got to the front of the slab, the area started to get a bit thinner. So we switched over just to using our regular TF Structural. You could carry the deep all the way through. I mean, it's fine even down to 1/4 inch. There's really no maximum or minimum thicknesses with it. But in this case, we just switched because we wanted it to cure a little bit faster for us. And here, about an hour later, once everything had set up, we ran a grinder over the entire application. The TF Structural is a very dense material, so once it cures, it's got a very dense, non-porous surface. So we're going to put our TF Structural, or excuse me, our TF River Rock overlay system, which is a polyurethane system, on top of this. So we want to just rip a grinder across it, really open up the pores of the TF Structural, and clean up all that old concrete. So now, yeah, the slab's totally structurally rebuilt and sound and ready for our River Rock system, which I do have another video I'll link down below in the description. But that's what the final product looked like after the River Rock was applied. And thanks to our TF Structural Deep to allow us to rebuild that concrete slab and be able to apply this River Rock system the same day.